Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of my unusual trading guide. This one's going to be about what unusual you should invest in and which ones are good for trading, and really just what you should buy with those 8 to 10 keys that you have, or however many keys that you have. So yeah, let's get right into it. So there are a lot of things to look for when you're doing unusual trading, and what we're going to be talking about here is what unusuals you're buying and whether they're going to be good to resell or not, really. So I just went on backpack.tf and went to the classifieds. So I'm going to quality and unusual. So this is only going to show unusuals. And for now, we're just gonna we're not gonna talk about the taunts, the head taker or unusual weapons right now because well, I mean, there's not really much of a market for these. But for the taunts and weapons, that's a completely different thing. There's a problem with like too much supply and too little demand from Valve, like letting too many unusual fires get unboxed. Correct me if I'm wrong with that, but I just believe that the market crashed because there's just too many in existence and too many trying to be sold, and there's just not enough people trying to buy them. So I'm assuming that you have like 8 to 10 keys. That's what I'm going with here. If you have more, then just keep on going until you get to the amount of keys that you have. You could go to particle effect and then just select whichever ones you want. You can get rid of the low tier ones, but if you're doing really low tier, then we're just going to go to 8 keys because that's when the unusual hats will probably start showing up. And we can just get past these unusual taunts here. Alright, so there's some bullshit rat, and basically, low tier trading you really have to work for, so once you get something, you really gotta try hard to sell it, because it's a really big market in the lower tier trading, and there's a lot of competition. So just everything in here is gonna be pretty, crappy unusual, so just like whatever you think looks a little bit above the average crappy unusual, which could be kind of hard. But yeah, after doing this for a while, I will cut to when I've got a bunch of these open in new tabs, and I'll explain a bit about all of them. So here I've got some hats that I pulled up. I just opened them all in new tabs, and I just kept on going. These are ranging from 7.5 to 8 keys, so that's how much they're selling for at least. So we'll just go through here, and I'll be talking about like why I'm closing them out or why I think they're a good deal or not. So we're starting with this Nuts and Bolts Gym Rat, and this one is going for 7.36 keys. And so say you bought this one for 7.36 keys, and then you'd have to sell it for more than that, but there's already a seller for 7.51 keys, so you'd only be able to list it for like a few more ref than you bought it for. If you did sell it, then it would have to be like lower than this one, if the buyer is smart at least. But yeah, if it's something that you're interested in, then you can just go on Outpost, see if there's anybody selling it for lower. One's for 8 keys, and then that one is somebody that's already selling it on here, I believe. Yeah. So yeah, we're just gonna close that one out. There we go. This one's Orban Clan's Magnificent Mongolian. Another heavy hat, 7.65. Same deal here. You buy it and you'd have to sell it for lower than that one, and they're not very good odds of that. So this one was priced 3 weeks ago, so you know it's well priced at 8 to 9 keys. So you buy this one. Same deal. I know unusual trading can be tough. We're just gonna leave this one open for now. Well, I'm gonna come back to it. This one, a bit better. You could maybe, this one, it has negotiation allowed, so you can maybe haggle them down to 7.5 or 7 keys, and you could sell it for 8 keys, because that'd be 0.51 keys lower than the other one. So, this wouldn't be a bad option, and it's got a Galactic Codex effect. And I think Head Full of Hot Air is a Pyro unusual, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Next we got a Green Confetti Magnificent Mongolian. priced at 9.5 keys, is green confetti, so it is a pretty nice hat. And yeah, it's 7.91, and you'd have to sell it for lower than 8, so we're not going to go with that one for now. Orbiting Fire is a pretty nice effect in my opinion. This one, it would be pretty hard to sell for 8. I mean, you could maybe sell it for 8 keys, but you'd get like only a few ref out of it, so not much of a point in it. This one, 8 keys, you bought it for 8 keys, and you wouldn't really be able to sell it for more than 8 keys unless you wanted to wait until the other one was sold, but then by then there'd probably be another person trying to sell it. So yeah, there's 44 known instances of it, so the market for it will be a bit hectic. So I'm just gonna close that one out. This one seller for 8 keys. Just making sure there's nothing on Outpost. Nothing on Outpost. There's a couple, looks like a couple on Marketplace TF. They're each $17, and I have a calculator next to me. So 17 divided by 1.9, which is about the price of keys on Marketplace. So yeah, wait, 17 divided by 1.9. So that'd be 8.9 keys, about, in cash, really, in a PayPal, I mean. So you'd still be able to sell it for maybe like 8.5. You could try selling it for 9. That's what it's priced at, because a lot of the time people don't want to go on Marketplace TF and pay PayPal for it, because they just want to do unusual trading through Steam. So you could maybe sell it for 9, probably for 8.5. I'll leave that one open. This one's unpriced, so that'd be a fun thing to do. Looks like it's got a price suggestion that was canceled at 12 keys, and it was going to be accepted, but they must have just canceled it. So I mean, it is strange. And let's see what the normal Aces High is selling for. Right there. Normal one sells for 9 keys, so and somebody's selling a strange one for 8 keys, so that could be a good option. So yeah, I'd leave that one up there. This one, you could maybe sell it for 8.5 keys if you buy it. I wouldn't bet money on it, especially considering the other better options that we've seen so far. So this one looks like 3 years ago. Yeah, I wouldn't buy this one either. 8.29 keys. Streaming hard counter. Yeah, same deal. 8.11. So you've got, these are all, I think these are all pretty good. Oh wait, no, this one wasn't any good really. So this one's good. Priced 2 weeks ago at 8 to 9 keys. You could buy it from this guy for 7.73, and you could sell it for 8. I guess wouldn't be a huge profit, but maybe you could haggle them down to 7.5 or 7 keys, and then you could make a bit more profit, because negotiation is allowed. So if you do offer, you should definitely offer less than what they're asking for, because that means that they're just willing to sell for lower. So why not offer lower? This one, 9 keys, only one seller, at least on the trading market, I guess, or some on Marketplace TF. But this one, I think you could maybe get 9 keys, if not 8.5 for. And then this one, this would be a bit different. It's a bit something that you're kind of gambling on, really. You buy it for 8 keys, and then strangers don't mean a whole lot in unusual trading, but it could do you good, and you could maybe sell it for, I mean, if you're trying to sell it for 9 keys and somebody wants one of these, they're probably going to pick the strange one over the normal one. So I think that would be a pretty good option there. Any of these would be good options. You just got to pick some of them, and you got to sell it really as aggressively as you can, because low tier trading is tough. There's a lot of competition, and you just got to go on in Vatican City. You could set up binds, do voice chat advertisement, and just do whatever you really can when you have time to do it. So yeah, that's what I got so far for these ones. So that was just kind of an example of what I think those people that have those 8 to 10 keys or whatever really should do once they, like, if they watch my first episode to this series and they decided to get those keys and then they wanted to see what to do with them, then I think they should do what I showed them there. But there are a few rules that you should generally follow while you're doing unusual trading. And so these are basic rules saying what is desirable and what is most likely to get sold and what will sell the fastest. So there are quite a few factors in this. 2 of the main ones are what class it's for and what effect it has. So in general, the heavy hats are a lot less desirable than, say, a soldier hat or a scout hat or a multi-class hat or an all-class hat, because those are just like, they're not very main classes and not a lot of people play them, so not a lot of people are going to want to buy an unusual for them. While with the most main class in the game, soldier, there's going to be a lot more people that want to buy unusuals for it. And if it's not class, then there's a lot bigger chance because, pretty much everybody wants them. So really, that's a big factor in it. And then effect is really just, a lot of the time it's what generation it's from, and really what it looks like. I'm sure you'll get very familiar with these very fast with getting into unusual trading, but effects like nuts and bolts and bubbling and just ugly looking effects just aren't really desirable, and you can see that reflected in their price on backpack.tf. So generally, heavy and engineer are least desirable classes because they're just the least mained, and classes like, I think, spy, pyro, and demo man and medic, those are mid-tier, just general normal classes. And then scout and soldier are high-tier classes. Well, multi-class and all-class is just, I don't know, I want to say it like god tier, depending on the effect, but like they're really up there, they're better than the other ones. Just because a hat may have one of these bad qualities does not mean that you just shouldn't buy it. One good thing about these hats is that the people selling them are going to probably be willing to go a lot lower in price, as to a person that would have like a really nice hat probably wouldn't be as lenient about the price. So you could probably lower them down quite a bit, and you could, in turn, if you know what you're doing, you could make quite a bit more profit. It just depends on what the situation is, and doesn't mean you should just completely avoid these hats. Another factor is whether it's duped or not. So in low tier trading, this doesn't matter at all. And if anybody tries to get you to lower your price because it's duped while you're in low tier trading, then you can just ignore them, because that doesn't factor in at all really in low tier trading. In mid tier and high tier and god tier especially, that really makes a big factor. But low tier, it doesn't make any difference whatsoever, and it just doesn't really factor into its price. So with mid and high tier and god tier, that's a bit different. God tier especially, it'll really decrease the price, especially if it's somebody's dream unusual, then they probably don't want it to be duped. So it might be a bit harder to sell duped unusuals, and people will ask quite a bit lower for them later on. But for low tier trading, you don't need to worry about it. Sorry for the longer video, but thank you so much if you watched all of it. That means a lot to me. And if you enjoyed it, then you can like and maybe subscribe. And after this, I am actually planning on doing a live stream, so if you get here early, then there's a good chance that I am either right about to start a live stream or am already in the middle of it. So yeah, if you want to, then you can just hop right on over that. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll have my Discord in the link below, my Discord invite link in the description below. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see ya.